thing for sure, Jamaica is in Africa. I don't care what the geographers say, because do you know how much that scarred me when I was 10? Do you understand? I'm sorry.
I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody says. Jamaica is one of the most influential black countries on this planet Earth. On this planet Earth, hands down, Jamaicans is one of the most influential people on this planet that will stand against anything. I don't care. Back in the day, everyone had to claim to be Jamaican to be accepted. I don't care. Nowadays, everyone's being accepted. Everybody's music is being accepted. Everything's being accepted. But we were standing out when none of us was really accepting. When they weren't even accepting black music, when they weren't even accepting them spaces, we were still standing out there and telling people exactly who we were and what we represent. And that is the reason why we stand as one of the most influential countries on this planet. And I don't care what nobody says, because we're a country of 3 million people. We're a country of 3 million people. And we influence from our lands all the way that way and all the way that way. Okay? So I just want to shout out. I just want to shout out to all my Jamaicans. And I just wanted to shout out to all the people that love Jamaica, because we're one influential motherfucking country and nobody can tell me differently. And I respect my country highly, and I will always talk about my country highly because we're one of the top. And I don't care. The haters can come, but we are one of the most influential countries. And the reason why corporations and brands and everybody will continuously to watch what we're doing year on year on year, because we set records. Period. Done.
Hi guys, welcome back once again to my YouTube channel. If it's the first time you're coming across my video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe and share. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for the love and support. Thank you so much for coming back and watching my clips. Okay guys, in today's clip I want to talk about why are a lot of people really claiming or really believe that Jamaica is from Africa. If you go to across the street, you ask, what do language Africans speak? They will tell you Jamaica. If you go to some places and you ask people, where is the country from Jamaica is? They will tell you Jamaica is from Africa. And a lot of people are really convinced Jamaica is from Africa. Is it because of the ancestral history or the slavery trade that was began early on? Kindly have a look at this clip and then you come back for more discussion.
What language do people from Africa speak?
Jamaican. Are you being serious? It's not.
Are you being serious? Where's Jamaica?
African. Where's Jamaica? Jamaica.
Can you name 5 countries in Africa?
Jamaica.
Jamaica is not in Africa, bro.
Is it not?
It is known that Jamaicans are from Ghana, from the Akans, from the Ashanti tribe, and also.
So I've been recently seeing a lot of videos on this whole Ghana-Jamaican relationship. I just want to touch on it quickly because I feel like a lot of it's coming from a pure place. However, the way we are talking about the history and the relationship is a bit skewed. There is a relationship, or there is the impact of peoples that are from what is now called Ghana to Jamaica, right? However, they are not the dominant group in Jamaica. In fact, there is no dominant group. People need to remember that there is no dominant people in terms of ethnically in the Jamaicans in the period of enslavement during Jamaica. In Jamaica, sorry. To understand this, we need to understand this. When it comes to Jamaican history and culture, we must get away from looking at our history through a colonial lens. What I mean by that is we should never be saying that Jamaicans come from Ghana or Jamaicans come from Nigeria, because there was no Nigeria, there was no Ghana when our ancestors were being taken from there. Is it? And these things are modern constructs. These things are modern products of colonialism. Is it? So that's where that's. Point 2.
Are from Ghana, from the Akans, from the Ashanti tribe, and
that's where that shit where, you know what I'm saying? Historically, the Ashanti would have been more likely to be the ones trading people than to be the ones traded. And I think it's important for us to get away from looking at history through an imperial lens and deifying imperialism. We have more of a relationship, or more of an impact from the other tree speaking peoples of the Akan than we do with the Ashanti and other people of what is now known as Ghana, like the Ga. The next thing and the final thing is that when it comes to Jamaican culture and history, right? Well, Jamaican culture, we need to understand that it has multiple origins. Jamaican culture has multiple, say with me, multiple origins. Multiple origins. For instance, one of the videos, a man said that Aki comes from Ghana.
Aki, which is part of Jamaica's national dish, Aki and saltfish, originates in Ghana. Although Ghana...
Which Aki? Kiana Wanya. They said Aki comes from Ghana, but it's not true. There's zero evidence. Zero evidence that Aki comes from Ghana. What we do know is that this fruit, or at least the name for this fruit, it's a cashew nut, by the way. This fruit is where we get the word Aki from. In the Akan language, this is known as Akeya or Achia. Is it? And they believe that this is where we get the name Aki from. However, in the Kru language of Liberia, they call this Eki. You hear me say? Eki.
Ghana feels like Jamaica. Ghana even smells like Jamaica. Even some of your language is similar to Jamaica. So, the way some of the villages talk, I don't know what you call it. We call it patois, but you guys speak and you say, adekam. And, that kind of, it's similar to patois.
Pidgin.
Yeah, pidgin, there you go. So pidgin and patois, very similar. And, even some of the tree language, like there are people in Jamaica that still use certain words. So some of the foods are the same.
So you think you're English? You think you're Anglo-Saxon? I wish some of you would go to England and say some of these things to these white people, because they'll quickly put you in your place and tell you to go back to Africa. You are the only ones who don't know where you're from, and it's really sad. Yes, you speak patois. What do you think patois is made up of? A lot of it is African words. And if you really want to know what tribes we came from, it's so easy. Just look at the language that we speak, which is patois. A lot of the words are from the Ashanti tribe. I'm just surprised that a lot of Jamaicans don't know these things. It's basic history, really. But it just shows you how much the education system has failed us, because we don't know ourselves. Most Jamaicans struggle with English. In fact, not just Jamaicans. Most black people in the West who speak the language of their colonizers struggle with the language. That's why you end up with Creole and Patois. We have to mix up the African in there to express ourselves. English is not ours. It belongs to another group of people. Languages are born out of a culture. English didn't come from us. There are so many simple things that tell us who we are. There's so much African retention around us, including the fact that we speak patois. It's not rocket science, and it's just shameful to see this display of ignorance on social media.
Going to Ghana for the first time, I understand, was also another milestone, because many people might not know, but the flag that we fly with the red, green and gold, it is the flag of Ghana. Yeah. Many people say, yeah, it's Rasta. People say, hey, it's a Rasta flag. No, it's an African flag. You understand? Marcus Garvey is the person who let Kuma and Kuma put the black star in the center of the flag to represent us. You understand? And that's why we fly that flag. So even the flag that we fly, you understand, it's from Ghana. And we see Ghana as the rainbow circle throne. Like what Christian or a Roman Catholic would say, okay, going to Vatican is a big thing for them, going to Jerusalem. Yeah. It's like, you understand, so for I and I as a Bobo Shanti Rastafarian, going to Ghana was a milestone.
I am a Black American and I absolutely love to travel to the continent of.
This is for the African Americans who think exactly like her, because I know it's not all of you. Whenever you decide to buy a ticket and visit another country, predominantly Africa or the Caribbean, can you please make sure to leave that stereotypical mindset that was inflicted upon you by these white people that oppressed you at the door before you enter? And if you can't do that, simply don't go. Girl went to Africa and someone got injured. Oh my God, someone got injured. Someone's phone got stolen. Oh my God, someone's phone got stolen. Sweetheart, you are from a country where a teenager can go to Walmart and buy a gun. America has the highest number of serial killers. You are from a country where when a white teenager feels depressed, he goes and shoots up a school. You are from a country where people who look exactly like you get murdered in broad daylight with all the evidence to show that they were actually murdered and never get any justice. So please explain to me how you can boldly acknowledge crime or incidents elsewhere, but you can't notice it in your own backyard. So crazy to me how the Western world have conditioned and convinced themselves and the people in their community to believe that crime exists everywhere else apart from the Western world. No, because let me do this again. Did people not die at Ariana Grande's concert in Manchester, England? Did Kim Kardashian not get robbed at gunpoint in Paris? And yet you still only acknowledge that crime exists in Africa? Some of these people are the same ones who will come on social media and make these stereotypical jokes about Africa, about the fact that Africa doesn't have any water. Meanwhile, Michigan don't have none neither. You lot will come on this app and stay shouting about how they live in mud huts and how they live in trees, but will never take a moment to look at the statistics of homelessness in LA and New York. People like you will come on this app and stay preaching and talking about how impoverished and poor and disadvantaged and how sad it is to be African and live in Africa because of how Africa is. Meanwhile, you're getting oppressed in your own country. Believe it or not, it's the same way when some of them go to the Caribbean. And you know, funny enough, same thing happens in Jamaica. Same thing. If you ever travel to Jamaica, just make friends with one of the staff at the hotel and ask them the worst guests who visit, and they will boldly tell you African Americans. And you wonder why some Caribbeans and Africans simply just don't like some of you. Because you lot come here and stay in other people's business and stay talking shit, knocking your cent against somebody else's dollar. You lot can really stay at the land of the free that ain't free. You really can stay there. Nobody's begging you to carry your bag and come. Do you understand? Don't buy tickets. Stay home.
Like even though I'm from the Caribbean, I identify as African. Like in my heart,
I don't identify myself as a black person anymore. I identify myself as a Jamaican person. I'm Jamaican.
I've always identified as a Grenadian.
Cool. Then keep it like that. And the reason why I say that is because Grenada has more history to you than actual word black.
100%.
Because if you go into your Grenadian history, you go back to your roots.
I have.
Which is the Arawaks people.
Yeah, the Carib and the Arawaks. But I'm also mixed with the actual people from the slave trade. I've done my family tree. I'm mixed with all of it.
Where?
All of it. I'm not sure which part of Africa my granddad's from.
He didn't come from Africa.
Yes, he does.
You look like you come from Sri Lanka.
I know.
You look like Sri Lanka. Look at the Sri Lankan guy. Well, you look like a Sri Lankan guy.
I know, I do. And every time I see them, I'm like, wow, we look like family. Do you want to be friends? I'm looking for a Sri Lankan friend, Indian friend. I want some of that culture because I didn't have it, but I know that it's in me. Like,
you can see it in you.
Some of my family are totally Indian. Some of them are totally black.
You said that to me. You said even when I saw your auntie.
She's totally Indian though. She doesn't even have black.
So I live in Ochi, right? And for some reason, people always think that I'm a tourist. Today, somebody told me, welcome to Jamaica. I was in the supermarket shopping and they were like, welcome to Jamaica. I wonder if it's because of how I dress, and why is it assumed that when people dress nicely, they're not from Jamaica, or whenever them dress cultural, they're not from Jamaica. I get it though, because most Jamaicans don't really dress cultural, but look at what my outfit is today. So this is it. I guess I kind of look like somebody who come from Africa, or maybe look like one black American or something like that.
Hello guys, welcome back once again to my YouTube channel. I hope you have watched the full clip, and we all know the original inhabitants of Jamaica were the indigenous Taino and the Arawak, and most of Jamaican slave trade came from Ghana, Nigeria and West Africa, including the Arawak, the Ashanti, the Yoruba. All of them, they originally came from Africa, and this is the reason why a lot of Africans really believe that Jamaica is from Africa. Not only African only, a lot of people really believe that Jamaica is from Africa. If you go to and interview a lot of people, you ask them what language do Jamaicans speak, they will tell you Africa. And even if you go to African people, you ask them what African language do you speak, they will tell you Jamaica. And on, Jamaican and Africa, they have very strong relationship, they have a very strong bond. We have all seen how a lot of Africans, they are showing a lot of love and support to Jamaican people, and I really love how the Jamaican people really support African people, of how they show them love, of how they support African YouTubers. If you go everywhere and talk about Jamaica, a lot of Jamaica really show you a lot of support, especially African. This really shows how Jamaican people really love African people, and African people really love Jamaican people. And this is the reason why a lot of African people, or a lot of people, really believe Jamaican is from Africa. And we all know Jamaican is one of the third largest island in the Caribbean. Though a lot of people really believe it's from Africa, it's because of how it has a lot of black people. Even other people really believe that Haiti is from Africa, but most people really believe Jamaican is from Africa. And this is the reason why Jamaican, it has really influenced a lot of people, especially African people. This is the reason why African, they are saying that Jamaican is from Africa. Jamaican has influenced a lot of African countries due to its music, sport, dancehall music, raga, dancehall music, all the things. They have really influenced a lot of African people, not only in Africa but across all the world. A lot of people really believe that Jamaican is from Africa just because of how it has really influenced a lot of African countries. We have all known how a lot of African, they have studied Jamaican history. Even most of other countries, they are copying Jamaican culture. They are copying its Rastafarian culture, its food culture, and it's all because of how African, they are being influenced by this country. If you can go to, there is a time whereby a lot of people really think that Bob Marley is from South Africa, and a lot of people really think that Lucky Dube is from Jamaica. This what has really made a lot of people to believe that Jamaica is from Africa. And if you go to African street, you ask a lot of people, where is Jamaican from? They will tell you Jamaica is from Africa. If you go to Western countries, in United States, in China, in those big countries, Canada, UK, if you ask a lot of people, where is Jamaican from? They will tell you Jamaica is from Africa, because Jamaican is a country made of different culture came together to build a nation. And it's probably a lot of black people in Jamaica. A lot of people in Jamaica are black, but we all know that Jamaica is not from Africa. It's only because of the love the Jamaican people show to African, and the love African people show to Jamaica. This what has brought the strongest relationship between African and people. And you can never stop African people or African countries from loving Jamaica. African people really love a lot about Jamaica. Come to their reggae music. A lot of African people really love to do what Bob Marley really did, to do what dancehall artists did, or what dancehall artists are doing. A lot of African countries, if you come to African villages or African areas, those ghetto areas, you will see a lot of people, they have named the street Kingston, Jamaica. A lot of people have named the street Gaza, and Gaza is a name from Jamaica. And what I can say, or what I can really tell people, there's no anyone can stop the love the African people have for Jamaica, because Jamaican has really influenced a lot of people. It has really influenced a lot of countries. We have all seen how a lot of Chinese, a lot of Arabs are flocking to Jamaica. A lot of Africans, they want just to visit this beautiful small island to see what is in it. It's because of how it's so small, but it has really influenced a lot of people. It is so small, but it has branded itself in a very wide area. It has developed. Everyone is talking about Jamaica. Talk about their music. Talk about how they have the fastest woman on earth, how they have the fastest man, Usain Bolt. Talk about the sportsmen. They have a very long history in sport of how they have broken a lot of unbelievable record. A lot of African, they are inspired by Jamaican. They want just to be like Jamaican. You can find in other African countries Some youth, they want to be like Usain Bolt. Some youth, they want to be like Usain Bolt. A lot of youth want to be like Bob Marley. A lot of youth want to be like Vibes Cartel, Conscience, Damago. Come to Jamaican history. Talk about Marcus Garvey. A lot of African people, they are teaching their children the history of Marcus Garvey, and this really shows how the Jamaican has really influenced a lot of people in Africa, not only in Africa but across all the world. Jamaican is a brand, and it's a small country, but it has really dominated a lot across all this world. A lot of people, if you go everywhere, a lot of people are just talking about Jamaica. Talk about their food. There is a certain lady I will show you, is saying that why does if you go to any country, you must find a Jamaican restaurant. This lady has visited like 20 countries, and to his surprise, he has found in these 20 countries the Jamaican restaurant, whereby these countries are practicing to cook Jamaican food. What does it really show? That the Jamaican food is being practiced across all the world. It's because of how their food is so delicious. And there was a time whereby, or it's currently, the Guinness Book of Records said that the Jamaican KFC is the best KFC across all the world. This really shows how this country has influenced a lot of people. It's a brand across all the world. It has really influenced a lot of people, and this is the reason why a lot of people really love this country called Jamaica. So guys, people talking about how Jamaica is in Africa, we are proud to hear something that for a country that has branded, for a country that has really influenced a lot of people across all this world, we are proud of it, and we are proud of our Caribbean brothers and sisters. We are proud of our brothers from Jamaica and our sisters from Jamaica. We all believe that we are connected because of our ancestral background, ancestral history. We all believe we are one because we all know Jamaican. A lot of slaves came from Ghana, from Nigeria, from West Africa, across all Africa. So Jamaican, what I can really say, we all know yes, you are not from Africa, but I really believe you are one of us because of the ancestral background and connection, because of the skin, because of the black, because of how you love and treat African people, because of how you appreciate African people. We all believe you are from our Africa, and I will really love one day some of Jamaica to come and visit African countries. All the people that are coming to visit African countries, just this artist, Vibes Cartel, Conscience, Shinsia, they are the one. But I really believe some of the Jamaican come to visit to Africa. You see what your ancestral land has, how your ancestral land is beautiful. We all know Jamaican is also beautiful. It has a lot of beaches that has really attracted a lot of tourists. We all know in Caribbean, the most famous, the most attracted country by a lot of tourists is in Jamaica. The most attracted island by a lot of tourists is Jamaica, because of its beautiful beaches, because of how it has survived, because of how his people welcome people, of how they treat strangers people. So guys, let us all believe, or let us put it in our mind that Jamaica, though you are not from Africa, but you are one of us. So guys, if it was for the first time you're coming across my video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe and share. Thank you so much for your time. One love.